Hilton brings you new ways to stay, with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Yo, what's up? This is Josh from Tetrarch, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast.
1, 2, 3, 4. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
So let's talk about the ugly side of me. Boy, that's a heavy hitter. Was it intentional to get heavier, or what I think is heavier?
With the album?
Yeah.
I think it was just a natural progression from Unstable, our last album. There's been you can kind of see the shift in Tetrarch. It started happening with Freak. On that album, we still had some of our thrashy kind of roots in a couple songs, and then we kind of got experimented with the song Freak and Please Let Me Be and Spit, where we started to do lower tunings and kind of a little bit groovier songs. And then that kind of led to Unstable, where Unstable was very experimental for us, where we just tried a bunch of different things and each song kind of sounds different. But we kind of found sounds and parts of what makes Tetrarch. So I think just naturally on this album, we were able to kind of take all the parts we loved about Unstable and really hone it in and be like, this is Tetrarch.
Right. It's like a new age of new metal to me when I'm listening to it.
We're not mad at that.
Did I sort of nail it?
Yeah, we definitely have those kind of elements. I think, some people shy away from that new metal. They hear that and they're like, oh, don't call us that. And, we don't care if people do. Ultimately, we just write songs that we enjoy playing and enjoy listening to.
And I think everybody writes doesn't everybody sort of write from their upbringing and their generation and their sort of thing, right? So, I mean, that's what you probably grew up with.
Yeah, and it was, to us, some of the biggest bands, we always say, in metal, came from that time period, from the new metal time period. Those were the bands that even people that weren't into heavy music, still to this day, System of a Down comes on somewhere and everybody, regardless of what they listen to, knows Chop Suey or Linkin Park or Korn. Those bands were just able to cross over into so many people's lives that that's why we just don't see it as a bad thing, a bad connotation.
So when you were writing this album, is there a takeaway, a message you want your fans to walk away from after listening to?
I would just say, I mean, if it were going lyrically with the album, I think it's even in the songs that might seem there might be a lot of self-doubt or a lot of just not great feelings, I mean, the ugly side of ourselves, the things we don't want others to see or we don't like about ourselves. It's just to be able to embrace those things and not be scared to face them. And because at the end of the day, that's what makes us all unique. So I would just say even in the songs that sound maybe down, there's always a tinge of hope and yearning of I'm gonna figure out how to get out of this, versus I might be stuck now, but I'm gonna get out of this. So there's kind of that ebb and flow in the album of kind of that idea.
You feel a sense of responsibility then when you're writing lyrics like that, to your listener, that to bring them up That makes sense.
Yeah, because I think it's just like a natural thing. I think like if something's not great or not going good, like I'm always kind of like, okay, how can I pivot and make good out of the situation, or what do I need to do to feel better and have a good day. So I think that just kind of like naturally works into it.
Right.
'Cause I know it's, when you're in a self-pity or a self just, not feeling great, it's easy to be stuck there, and it would be easy to just write only from that state and nothing else. But I think it's important to kind of show both sides if that's what, you know, how you actually feel.
Do you ever feel like you've put too much of yourself into a song then? You've been too vulnerable?
N No, I don't think so. I think it's because they're very like human emotions and they're very relatable to pretty much anybody. I feel like is able to relate, and sometimes maybe songs could be something I'm feeling, or it could be something I see another band member going through or a family member going through, and kind of being empathetic to them, and writing from their state of mind, or um, that kind of thing. So it's kind of like it's a blend, I would say.
Okay.
So yeah.
So when if you're putting yourself into it, you're putting your do you ever have say, should I put too much of myself in? Or do
No,
you
I don't think so. I
like,
think
hey, I shouldn't let that out, or I don't want to revisit this every night on stage, or it's not that heavy?
no, it's not even like that because it's like the by the time we love being on stage, I love being on stage, and so like, I could I could literally have a song about the worst situation ever, but I'm still gonna have a great time playing it because it's get to share your music with an
Right.
audience and with people, and maybe that song helps them feel better about what they're dealing with. So no, I don't think so.
What's it like when they're all out there singing back your lyrics and jumping and smiling? I mean, that's got to be the ultimate payoff, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's some bands that like they live for the studio, and they tour just because they have to. We're kind of the opposite. Like we love writing and we love being in the studio as well. But like our favorite thing to do since we were, 12 years old is like play music in front of people. Um, and it's I mean, it's crazy, like especially the first few times of like seeing people actually singing words, you know, wearing Tetrarch merch in some random city you've
Right.
never been to. You're like, what the hell is happening? It's like it's really cool. Um, and then once you can like I try really hard to be an entertainer like on stage. Like I want the crowd to just have fun. I want them to, even if they don't even know who we are, I want by the end of the set, those guys with their arms crossed in the front to be jumping up and down because they just can't
Right. They
help
paid
it.
their money, so it's a good
Yeah.
show. Right.
Every now and then I'll get one review online where someone's like, that guy he was too mean to us. Like, we'll jump if we want to jump, that kind of thing. But I'm like, hey,
Whatever.
you know what? 95% of the people you come to a rock and a metal show, and you expect the front man to kind of try to get you going. So I
Right.
try to do that as best as I can. Have a good time with everyone.
How much how much mind space do you give to like negative comments like that or shitty comments like that? Do you just laugh them off, or do they?
You like 30, 45 seconds. I'm like, you know, like you'll get mad for a second. You're like, dude, I'm just performing and this, and this. And then you're like, everybody else had a great time. It doesn't
Any
matter.
took the time to mention you, so whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because then we always will have, every time there's a negative comment, you'll have fans that just like come up and stick up for you. So you don't even
Right.
have to
Right.
even worry about it anymore. So that's kind of a cool thing.
That's your money saying it's time for a McDonald's run. Because with new McValue at McDonald's, you get more than you expect. Like buy a 6-piece McNuggets and add a McChicken for just $1. Your money says let's go. Get more than you expect with new McValue. Prices and participation may vary. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
Cool. So when you're writing this record, how hard is it to sequence it, right? Because it kicks off, and I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool. But then you get to like Never Again, and man, I'm totally in on the journey. It's for me, that was the one I'm like, wow, I got to listen more and then play back. So how much time? Because there's a lot of time put into that, right?
Oh, so much time. Like people don't think about that. They see the final product of a band and they're like, "Oh, they put 10 songs together." But like it was really hard because there we did like there's a lot of like we're very happy with this album. Like we love all 10 songs that we ended up putting on there. But it's crazy how what comes before a certain song can make the next song sound really slow or really fast or like the right vibe. So we tried like I mean, I on my phone I have just like playlists where it was just like completely different orders and then you know we would try to the first song Anything Like Myself was kind of like we felt that was very Tetrarch and that was very like it just sounded like an album opener. And we
Yeah.
briefly would try to move it somewhere else and it would sound we put it like fifth, it sounded weird, put it second, that was weird. We're like, you know what? This is the first song.
And
Um
and you're right, it's a Tetrarch song. But then, like I said, I get to Never Again, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm in.
yeah. Well, we appreciate that. That was a fun song to make, especially once I have like original demos before Diamond was singing on it and the song was fine. But when we got her vocals on that second verse, it was like, okay, this is really cool. So that was a cool song to just like drop the pace for a second and do something we've never had a song like that really on an album. We've had a couple like slower ones, but nothing like Never Again. Um and then it was fun to just like I think Live Not Fantasize comes right after that to just kind of like pick up the energy and the pace back up. So yeah, a lot went into that sequencing.
That's great. So record is out here, what, next week?
No,
A week?
next May 9th.
May 9th. So we're in, oh,
April.
sorry, I was thinking April. So May 9th. So you got about a month to go.
Got about a month, yeah.
If fans want to find you, and can you give us all your socials and that sort of thing?
Instagram's gonna be Tetrarch Music. YouTube, I want to say is like Tetrarch Live, Tetrarch Music on TikTok. Pretty much any social media platform, just type in Tetrarch and you're gonna see our four crazy faces pop up there for you.
Nice. You guys stay pretty active. I know it's tough, but
We do, yeah. We try to respond to like as many people as we can, and that's really important to us to kind of build a community around our band and social media can be, you know, tough. Like it's not always, you don't always want to be there on your phone, but
right,
like I know it's important and it's important
right.
to our fans and to build a connection with them.
Stay
So like
connected. Right.
when someone sees Tetrarch commented back on their post, it's one of the four of us. Like it's not like a social team that's like doing
Right.
everything for you. It's like that's one of us. So it's important.
And that's cool. That connection. Great.
Hmm.
And what do you have scheduled? You going to head out on tour with this, or?
Definitely, we've announced some European festivals for June, as well as a few other European headline dates. More will be announced in the next couple weeks. And then yeah, we're always looking. We're always working on the next U.S. thing. So touring is what is our favorite part of being a band. So that's like our focus is getting this album written and together and get it out. And then now our focus is all right, let's bring it to the people. So
Thank you, my friend. Good luck with the record.
do you have a favorite song on it?
Yeah, I think that's what I was telling you. That second one gets me. Parasite.
Yeah. All right.
I love.
Well, hell yeah. Well, thank you.
That's the one that sucked me right in, and I was ready for it. So
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate it.
good luck on the road. Hopefully, we'll see you on this side of the states.
Absolutely.
All right, cheers.
All right. Have a good one.
Hey everyone, this is Bjorn from Soulwork, and this is Brutally Delicious.
The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Hey there, heavy metal maniacs and kitchen crusaders. I'm Bruce Moore, the host of the Brutally Delicious Podcast, where we whisk up a blend of metal and food to quench even the most discriminate tastes. Have you ever wondered what your favorite metal musician chows down on before they hit the stage to melt your face off? Well, look no further. Here at the Brutally Delicious Podcast, we have cooking segments so brutal they'll make your oven want to headbang. From beefy, bodacious burgers, to spicy, succulent salmon, to kickin' caliente cauliflower, and more. We mix metal and culinary creations, resulting in a feast for the senses.
But wait, there's more.
Hey, this is Michael Monroe. Brutally delicious. Isn't that beautiful? See you down the road.
Each week, I meet with the mammoths of metal for interviews that are spicier than a Carolina Reaper. Get the latest on their upcoming shows, behind-the-scenes stories, and if we're lucky enough, maybe they'll share a secret family recipe or two with us. You'll also want to check out our weekly album and show reviews, where we dice, slice, and serve up our unique takes on the latest metal releases. So grab your leather apron, crank to volume 211, and subscribe to the Brutally Delicious Podcast on your favorite podcast platform. It's sure to be a hell of a time.
Oh, hey there. It's Tim from Protest the Hero. Now that you've seen my junk, I'm going to show you how to make a pizza. And you're watching Brutally Delicious.
What's up, everybody? Max Cavalera, Soulfly, and you listen to Brutally Delicious Podcast. Stay mad, motherfuckers.
Hey, this is Steve Choi, host of the Musicians Guild podcast, part of the Sound Talent Media podcast network. Within the four walls of the Musicians Guild, we'll be discussing the habits, idiosyncrasies, experiences, and general psychology of my friends and peers, all involved with music in various capacities. Listen and subscribe at soundtalentmedia.com.
This is Krista Makes, guitarist and vocalist for Less Than Jake, and host of Krista Makes a Podcast, a songwriting podcast where every week I'm joined by an amazing guest to break down the writing, recording, and release of one iconic song from their career. In our giant evergreen back catalog of episodes, we've had rock legends such as Dee Snider and Huey Lewis, punk rock favorites like Mark Hoppus, Fat Mike, and Brett Gurewitz, and up-and-coming artists of today such as Liz Stokes of the Beths and Genesis Owusu. We've had guests from all genres and styles of music, and I guarantee that if you peruse our back catalog, you'll see several episodes that'll make you say, man, I gotta hear that. Whether you're a fan of music or a creator of music yourself, you'll take away a whole new appreciation for the songs you know and love. Krista Makes a Podcast is available for free on all the places you could possibly listen to podcasts, and new episodes come out every Monday.